Heya, CinnaBunny here. I have a fun one today. My Kingdom for the Princess. Rebuild the kingdom for the princess. My Kingdom for the Princess is a resource management game. Before we begin rebuilding the kingdom, let's see why it's destroyed. The story goes as follows. Princess Helen came to visit her uncle, King Sigmund. All was well, until there came a tornado, the likes of which had not been seen for 200 years. Animals, houses, and people flew through the air. King Sigmund's castle stood against the tornado, but that was only the beginning. The tornado awoke Firemouth the dragon, a terrifying nocturnal hunter. Legends say he could not sleep until he ate 37 people. The legends might be wrong, but he'd already eaten 8 people and didn't seem the slightest bit sleepy. Princess Helen found that during the tornado, her father, King Olgert, had been struck by lightning. Nobody knew whether he'd live or die. She needed to return home immediately, but all the roads were in ruins, the hamlets were destroyed, and a hungry dragon circled over the land. A knight named Arthur answered duty's call. Not only would he have to escort the princess, but he would also have to restore the ruined land. King Sigmund promised him a shiny new castle as a reward for successfully completing this quest. Good knights don't care for rewards. They're only concerned with heroic deeds and love. With the story in place, let's get to it. My Kingdom for the Princess is a resource management game. We manage both time and resources, those being gold, wood, and food. We play as Arthur in this little hut. He sends the workers out to fix up the land on their quest. These little workers can pick up resources, chop down trees, build bridges, and break boulders. Gold is their currency. The workers are paid in gold to break boulders, pick flowers, shovel sand, and snow. Wood is very essential, given it is used to build and upgrade structures that generate resources, and also used to build bridges and pathways. Food is necessary. The workers will not work on an empty stomach, and they need ample supplies to function. Each building has its purpose. The sawmill produces wood, the farm and fisherman's hut produce food, the mine produces gold, the temple and barracks ward off threats, the warehouse increases the gain of collected resources, and the hut can be upgraded to house more workers. These buildings do not change throughout the game, but the levels do, making the approach to later levels less casual and more tactical, saving resources for certain tasks. Each level is like a puzzle. You must balance your resources in tandem with the time, building certain structures to aid in the progress without leaving yourself dry of resources and potentially stuck. Every level has a time limit, some short, some fairly long. This is the timer. This mark here indicates when sunset will arrive. You have to race the sun. Beating this mark will net you a bonus prize, being a small upgrade to your castle. The more levels you ace, the bigger and better your castle will be. It's really cool to see the castle grow over the journey. Some levels have small hazards, a storm cloud or a giant bat. When on the screen, the workers won't go out to perform tasks. They're terrified of the storm and the giant bat. Click rapidly on the small threat to remove it. In some levels there are power-ups as well, activated manually when charged. A resource bonus, an extra worker, faster running workers, faster working workers, and a time stop. The resource bonus will grant one additional resource to any picked up. The extra worker will grant an additional worker for 30 seconds. The faster speed will double the worker's running speed. The faster workers will increase their speed when performing a task, and the time stop will freeze the timer for 10 seconds. All pretty helpful. Some more situational than others, especially in certain levels. There's 4 islands to traverse through and complete. The first island is like a tutorial, giving the basics for a lot of the island and leaving you on your own near the end. It's a lot of fun. The second island introduces a hazard, being mountain spirits. The workers are terrified of them, and they must be warded off with a temple. The mountain can be pretty tricky to traverse, but with the right planning, it can be fairly easy. The third island introduces itself. The ability to generate resources for a majority of a third island is near impossible, given it's mostly about picking up spawn resources and managing them like so. The third island is a desert. The workers will move significantly slower. The workers will need wells in order to move at a faster speed. Building a well will increase the workers' movement speed drastically. There is also quicksand in the desert. The workers have to build bridges over this or else they will fall in. Thankfully they're not so silly to walk into it though. The fourth island is a combination of everything so far, though with the addition of polar bears. The workers understandably won't take on a polar bear. They must be taken care of with the barracks building. There is cracked ice here. The cracked ice must have a bridge built over it, as the carriage cannot travel across it. At the end of any island, there is a small puzzle. Piece the puzzle together to beat that island. At the end of a journey, Princess Helen is reunited with King Olgit. Though seeming close to death, when he saw his daughter, he sprung right back to life. Arthur was given his own castle. He asked King Olgit for Helen's hand in marriage. Helen agreed, for she had been head over heels in love with Arthur since the Rocky Island. Her father gave them his blessing. The whole kingdom celebrated for 3 days and nights. My Kingdom for the Princess is a lovely little game. I love it. I feel I remember playing this through Wild Tangled Games when I was a young bunny. Now though, I got to fully experience and enjoy it. It's a delightfully challenging puzzle game without being too tough, though sometimes there's just barely enough time to complete a level with the ace times. Regardless, I enjoyed it a lot. If you enjoyed the footage of My Kingdom for the Princess, it can be found on Steam for fairly cheap, and I'd highly recommend checking it out if you enjoy time and resource management games. If you enjoyed the video, go check out my other stuff. I review and look at some cool games. For now though, I've been CinnaBunny, and I'll catch you later, mate.